Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you are new here, I am a military spouse. My husband is in the Marine Corps and we're coming up on our 4th PCS. Right now he's doing I and then we're going right into recruiting. I'm not sure what's going to be worse. I assume it's going to be recruiting because everyone says recruiting sucks. So I'm just going in it with very low expectations. But a way to alleviate the stress of my husband being on recruiting duty for the next 3 years is the move. And since this isn't our first PCS, I wanted to share some tips on what I am doing, what I always do, and what I'm going to do as long as my husband's in the Marine Corps. Also, a little side note that because my husband's in the Marine Corps, they use different terminology, but it's the same process. For example, in the Marine Corps, you live on base. But if you live in the Army, they call it living on post. So just small things like that. The tips will be able to help you regardless of what military branch your spouse is in. So here we go. The first thing you need to do when you know you're coming up on a PCS, your spouse is going to get web orders or orders for where they're going immediately. That day, if you're going to a base, apply for housing. If you've ever moved anywhere, you know that the housing wait list is ridiculously long. So if you apply for housing the second you have orders, they will hold your place in line for whenever you actually show up on base to physically say, hey, I'm here. How long do I have to wait for my house? And if you're moving somewhere that is not on base, like I or recruiting, then you need to look for housing. Are you renting? Are you buying a house? How much is your BAH? I'm going to put a website on the screen and in the description on how you can look up how much your BAH will be in that location. It's by zip code. The orders have the zip code on it, so you won't have to worry about that. You just need to know your spouse's rank and zip code and what year you're moving there. Pretty simple. The next thing you need to do is reserve a hotel room because you get free 10 days. You can use it on your last duty station or use it on the new duty station, or you can split it up. I always use it at the new duty station. So reserve a hotel room for 10 days because it's free anyways, so you might as well use it. The next thing you should do is declutter. Declutter everything. Declutter every single thing in your house because it's going to help you tremendously when you or the movers are unpacking your things at your new place. I'm going to be making a decluttering video. I'm going to declutter my entire house, preparing for this PCS because we move in 3 months and I'm not trying to wait till the last minute to declutter my house because that will really stress me out. The next thing you should do is look at your automatic payments for things or subscriptions for things and put a reminder on your calendar on when to cancel it, stop it, pause it, whatever you need to do. For example, I have a subscription with Petco for dog food to be delivered every 2 months. I have to get online, figure out when is the last day I want them to deliver the dog food so I have enough dog food while I'm PCSing, and then I can add the hotel's address to my Petco subscriptions. So if I need dog food while we're at the hotel, it'll just deliver right to the hotel. The next step is to be mindful of the groceries you are buying. For the next 3 months, when I'm grocery shopping and cooking, I need to think, if I open a brand new Parmesan cheese, will I be able to use it up before I leave so I don't waste any money or waste any food? And I'm using the Parmesan cheese example because I am almost out of Parmesan cheese and I'm thinking I should not buy any more and I'll just avoid cooking recipes that have the Parmesan cheese. I'll be limiting the different types of meals that I'm making, but I'm also not going to be wasting food. And this will come in handy the last few weeks you're living somewhere because you won't have a kitchen full of groceries that you're thinking, I either have to trash these or find someone who wants a bunch of opened groceries. And when I'm doing my decluttering video in the kitchen, I will go into a deeper explanation of being mindful with groceries because I'll be able to show you exactly what I'm talking about as I'm decluttering my kitchen. And to piggyback on being mindful about groceries, the same with cleaning supplies. The movers, if you are using movers, will not pack liquids, open foods, or cleaning supplies. All I use for cleaning supplies is vinegar and water, so I'm not going to be wasting a whole bunch of different cleaning products. For example, in my bathroom, I have one of those hand pump soaps that have liquid in it. The movers will not pack that. It is almost empty. So I won't be buying any more bottled soap, liquid soap. So I will just take one of our bar soaps that we use in the shower, put it on one of those little soap trays, put it next to the bathroom sink, and then we have soap. That way I'm not wasting it, and I can always pack bar soap when we're moving in our suitcase to use in the hotel as we're traveling to wherever we're going, and you're not wasting any of your money or products. The next step that you need to decide when you are PCSing is, are you packing yourself? Are the movers packing you? Are you doing half and half? I don't know. I have never packed myself, and I'm pretty sure I will never pack my household goods. My husband and I both feel like it is not worth the money that we would make to deal with the stress of packing our own household goods and driving them wherever we're going, or doing the pods, or any of that. You cannot convince me the amount of money that you make is worth the stress, because I don't want to be stressed when I'm moving. I'm already stressed before we're moving. I don't want to be stressed during the move and then have to unpack all of it and deal with all the boxes and the paper and everything, and there's just stuff everywhere. I just don't want to deal with any of that. Either way, there's a possibility of you making money on your move. You just will make more money if you move your own things. We make money when we have the movers move us, but there's like a science to it. And I'll just make a different video to explain that. Once you have orders, you know where you're going, you need to plan a driving route to the hotel that you're staying at. So, for instance, we were in 29 Palms, California, and we needed to drive all the way to Central New York, and that was long. I made a route with all the stops where we were stopping for lunch and staying the night, who we were seeing on the way, how long we were going to be there. I had this very intricate itinerary of what we were doing because I didn't have time to stress about where we're going or plan it on the fly. I need to plan things really ahead of time, and that's exactly what you should do too. All that to say, plan your route. You'll thank me later. The next step is to go to a PCSing class. Your FRO for your spouse's unit may have one just for spouses, but know that the Marines have to go to a PCSing class because it's part of their checkout list. And my husband and I learned a few moves ago that he does not like going to those classes, nor does he pay attention in those classes because he's just trying to check it off his list. And I'm over here asking questions like, how much do we get per diem? How much are the children? Blah, 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 blah. So to cut down on lost information, I now go to the PCS class by myself. And I just write his name down on the registration and get the little slip that says he went to the class, even though I went to the class, because I go to that class with my notebook and my pencil, and I'm taking notes, and I'm asking questions, and I'm like, oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I don't really ask questions now because I've gotten the gist of what I'm supposed to do, but I'm going to the class like as a refresher of information. And they tell you the website on how to ship your vehicle if you're going Oconus, or to schedule the movers if that's how you're doing things, is scheduling the movers and everything. So I do all of that, but I get the information from the PCSing class that they provide for the Marines. So if you are on a base, they have that, but because we are at INI, I'm pretty sure he's not going to have that, but I remember most of the information anyways. You've made it this far, folks. 2 more steps, and then I'll be done talking. The next step is to see if your base has a lending locker. Not all Marine Corps bases have lending lockers. I'm not sure if the other military branches have lending lockers, but I'm sure they have some type of lending thing they offer, and see what the lending locker has, because if your lending locker gives you plates, silverware, measuring cups, measuring spoons, that's something you won't have to worry about if you're staying in the hotel, or you're having to get a month-to-month rental, waiting on your housing, or you may get a house and not get your household goods yet, but you don't want to go buy a bunch of measuring cups because you have them, they just aren't there yet. And that's when you would utilize the lending locker, because they'll give you the stuff for free. When we PCS to Hawaii, we were in the hotel for 2.5 months because we couldn't find housing off base, but we were on the housing wait list. So it was a very weird time. And then we did get base housing, but we still didn't have our household goods. So we went to the lending locker in Hawaii, and they loaned you furniture and kitchen supplies, which was amazing. The furniture was like patio furniture, but who's really complaining when you're in a house with just a mattress and nothing else? You're going to take the patio furniture and you're going to be happy and you're going to use it. So check to see if your base has a lending locker. And the final step you should do is see if your base requires any type of registration for pets. And I mention this because When we lived in 29 Palms, you had to register your pet to live on base. No big deal, simple paperwork. But if you're PCSing to Hawaii, it is a lot more complicated for your pet to get to Hawaii. It's doable, but it is a lot more planning ahead. So that's why I'm including that on my list of things to do, because I don't know where you're going. And you just never know if you're going to get Hawaii. So you want to make sure that everything is ready. There's no delays. You want to show up to your new duty station and just go back to living your life. You don't want to be in this weird limbo of having to register for things, or, oh my goodness, where are we going to get furniture? Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? You don't want that stress. I don't want that stress for you. You don't want that stress for yourself. And I promise you, these tips will help you. If you have questions, seriously, put them in the comments. PCSing is complicated enough, and sometimes the military doesn't give you all the information that you want because they just assume we know everything for some reason. So I made this video hoping it'll help someone. I hope it helps you, because doing these things months in advance has helped me tremendously. I will make other videos as the time gets closer to when our movers will show up to see how I prepare for that, because you kind of have to do some things to your home before the movers come. It's not crazy, but it's something to think about. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.